Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Den. We are going to do a 36 roll practice just looking for on and off axis throws. I'm going to keep it short, like I said, down to a 36 roll, because out of 36 rolls there's a math of probability that says we should have 3 10s rolled, 4 9s, 5 8s, 5 6s, 4 5s, and 3 4s. Okay? Then we have 12 should be hit once, 11 should be hit twice, the 2 should be hit once, the 3 should be hit twice. I am going to use a green chip when both die are on axis, a white chip when one is on axis, one is off axis, and a red chip when both die are off axis. I am going to grab 36 chips, white chips. There's 20. 25, 30, 35, 36. I'm not going to worry about hard ways or anything like that on this one. I just want to throw and see what we got. We're going to use a hard way set just because it's easier to keep track of which die is on and off axis. So I got my red. I get my green. There's my green. We're going to use a 3-2, 3-2 dice set. Green will be on my left, red will be on my right, throwing a par toss from stick left, approximately 8 feet from the end of the table. Oh, sorry, I didn't move everything before I did the intro, so now I have to move some things out of the way. Stay with me. And let's get started. Come out roll. 3-2, 3-2. That is a 2-5-7, come out 7. Double pitch. Both die are on axis, so we're going to put a green chip down here on the 7. Just going to have to keep track of how many 7s are on and off axis. Or I mean, come out or 7 out. Still a come out roll, dice are out, 3-2, 3-2. That is a 1-3-4, 1-3-4. Anytime you see a 1 or a 6, you know the die is off axis. Mark the 4. We have 1 on, 1 off axis, so that's a white chip. Goes on the 4. Now the math of the game says a 6 should be thrown once every 6 throws. So we'll see if we match that or do better. Dice are out, 3-2, 3-2. 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6. Always something in the way. Okay. White chip goes on the 6, and we're going to mark it. Three, two, 3, 2, dice are out. So 1, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5. Mark the 5, it's a white chip. 1 on, 1 off. That's a good thing. The one good thing about throwing hard ways is that if you don't throw perfectly on axis and one die goes off, you'll never hit a 7. Dice are out. 3, 2, 3, 2. 6, 4, 10. 6, 4, 10. Mark the 10. There's 1 on, 1 off. 10 gets a white chip. Dice are out. 3, 2, 3, 2. Hard 10. Hard 10. 10 is marked. Both die are on axis, so the 10 is going to get a green chip. And we take a white chip from our stack and put it in the rack. Dice are out. 3, 2, 3, 2. That is a 3 craps. A 1, 2, 3, 3 craps. Mark the 3. White chip goes down here on the 3. Dice are out. 3, 2, 3, 2. Hard 10. Hard 10. 10 is marked. Green chip goes on the 10. White chip goes off our stack into the rack. You're saying 8 throws so far. That's what I'm showing on my counter, so we're good. Dice are out. 3, 2, 3, 2. Six, 4, 10. 6, 4, 10. Well, we just passed our law of averages on the 10. We have 1 on, 1 off, so that gets a white chip. actually that green, that hard 10, I'm going to put in the hard ways. Both of them, as a matter of fact. Just easier to keep track. Even though there's only one way to hit a hard 10 that's, or a 10 that's a hard. Dicer out, 3, 2, 3, 2. 5, 6, yo, 5, 6, yo. The yo is going to get marked. Gets a white chip because 1 on, 1 off. Yeah, there's only one way that both die can be on axis on a 10. That's with a hard way. Dice are out, 3, 2, 3, 2. That is a 5, 2, 7, 7 out. But this time, that was 11 throws. So I'm going to grab 11 throws, mark it so I know how many on each shooter. It's a 7 out. Both die are on axis, so that still gets a green chip down here. Puck comes off. Reset the ATS. New shooter. So the math of the game is pretty close to being accurate right now. But that's only because we had a come out 7. Come out roll, dice are out, 3, 2, 3, 2. That's another come out 7. Did you see that red die just flipped right over to the sidewall? 1, 6, 7. Both die are off axis. That's a red chip is going to go on the 7. We're going to take a white chip and put it in the rack. Okay, so that is come out roll. Got 12. 24 minus 12, or 36 minus 12 is 24. That's what we've got. Still working. So we've had 2 come out 7s. Dice are out. 3, 2, 3, 2. 5, 2, 7, come out 7. Both die are on axis, so that gets a green chip. I'm going to put the come out 7s above the other 7s, and this will be the 7 outs. Okay, so we've had 4 7s, 3 of them being come out. This is why they always give you the advantage on the first roll, but then take it away for the rest of the rolls. Dice are out. Come out roll, 3, 2, 3, 2. Another come out 7. Both die are on axis again, so that's going to get a green chip. You see this in a game, you might want to start laying money on the come out, or some way to capitalize on it. You can either hop the sevens or lay a box number. Dice are out. 3, 2, 3, 2. 5, 2, 7. That's the third in a row. 5, 2, 7. We've just passed our, or we equaled the number of total sevens. That we expect for the entire 36 roll. Now we have to go on a 25 or more roll to equal it out. Dice are out. 3, 2, 3, 2. That's a 6, 4, 10. 6, 4, 10. Point is going to be a 10. It's 1 on, 1 off, so that's a white chip goes on the 10. Dice are out. 3, 2, 3, 2. I don't see my green die. It's a 2. It rolled. Sorry about that. 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6. Mark the 6. Both die are on axis, so it gets a green chip on the 6. Dice are out. 3, 2, 3, 2. I'm sorry, that is a 7 out. 3, 4, 7. Puck comes off. Both die are on axis, so it gets a green chip, but it's put in our 7 out column. White chip goes into the rack. And that shooter had 6 rolls. But 4 of them were 7s. We've got another come out roll. Dice are out. 3, 2, 3, 2. That is a 1, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. Mark the 4 becomes our point. We have 1 on, 1 off. That's a white chip. Dice are out. 3, 2, 3, 2. Two, 6, 8. 2, 6, 8. Mark the 8. We have 1 on, 1 off. That's a white chip. I don't know if you were able to tell the difference in the sound on the landing on that, but both of the dice hit pretty flat. That's why it sounded louder than all the others, which is what you want, but you just don't want as much action to the back wall after they hit. Dice out, 3, 2, 3, 2. 3, 2, 5. 3, 2, 5. Mark the 5. Both die are on axis, so that is a green chip on the 5. White chip goes in the rack. Dice are out, 3, 2, 3, 2. 6, 4, 10, 6, 4, 10. Mark the 10. We have one die on, one die off. 10 gets a white chip. Dice are out, 3, 2, 3, 2. 6, 2, 8. 6, 2, 8. 8 is marked. We have one die on, one die off, so the 8 gets a white chip. Dice are out, 3, 2, 3, 2. 1, 5, 6, 1, 5, 6. Mark the 6. We have one die on, one die off. That's a white chip on the 6. Dice are out. 3, 2, 3, 2. 4, 6, 10. 4, 6, 10. White chip goes on the 10 because one on, one off. Dice are out. 3, 2, 3, 2. 6, 3, 9. 6, 3, 9. Mark the 9. White chip goes on the 9 because we have one on, one off. Down to our last 10 throws. Dice are out. 3, 2, 3, 2. Hard 10. Hard 10. White chip goes in the rack. Green chip goes out here on the hard 10 because both die were on axis. Dice are out. 3, 2, 3, 2. That is a 3, 2, 5. 3, 2, 5. White chip goes in the rack. 5 is marked. Green chip comes out on the 5 because both die are on axis. Dice are out. 3, 2, 3, 2. That is a 1, 3, 4. Point is made. 1, 3, 4. Puck comes off. We have 1 die on, 1 die off, so that is a white chip. Goes on the 4. We have a come out roll. Dice are out. 3, 2, 3, 2. That is a 2, 5, 7. Come out 7. Come out 7. Both die are on axis, so that is a green chip. So I'm going to take a white chip out, put a green chip on the come out 7. Still the same shooter. Still a come out roll. Dice are out. 3, 2, 3, 2. It's another come out 7. 1, 6, 7. It's going to be a red chip on the 7 because they both die are off axis, but it's still a come out roll. Dice are out. 3, 2, 3, 2. 6, 6, 12 on the come out. 6, 6, 12. Mark the 12. Both die are off axis, so we're going to put a red chip in the 12, put a white chip back in the rack. Still a come out roll. Dice are out. 3, 2, 3, 2. 4, 6, 10. Point is going to be a 10. It's already marked. We have 1 die on, 1 die off, so it gets a white chip on that 10. Dice are out. 3, 2, 3, 2. 5, 2, 7. 7 out. So a white chip is going into the rack. A green chip is coming out here onto the 7. Because both die were on axis, we have to reset our ATS. Puck comes off. we got 2 throws left, and that shooter had 16 throws, but a boatload of 7s. Okay. Oh, that's amazing. 10 7s and 34 throws. This is why casinos are built. This is when you become a dark side player. Dice are out. 3 2 3 2. 5 6 yo. 5 6 yo on the come out. Mark the yo. 1 on, 1 off. He's going to get a white chip on the yo. Last throw. Still a come out roll. Dice are out. 3 2 3 2. 2 3 5. 2 3 5. 5 is our point. White chip goes in the rack. Green chip goes on the 5 because both die are on axis. And what did I have here? That was 2 throws on that shooter. Just want to make sure that I've got 36 throws logged in here. 15. 6. 30, 32, 34, 35. I'm off by 1. So somewhere I did not count correctly. But let's see here what we've got here. What can we use as our learning anything at all? We had no 2s. We had 1 3. We had 3 4s. All of them 1 on, 1 off. So it's only a 3 1 or a 1 3. 5. We had 4 5s. 3 of them with both die on axis. 6s. We had 3 with 1 of them being on both on axis. So that would only be a 4 2 because we don't have any hard ways. 7s, we had 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 7s out of 36 throws, but only 3 7 outs. All the rest, the other 7 were come out 7s. But you can see most of those total, 8 out of the 10 were on axis, and the only way to do that is a double pitch. Number 8, we had 2 8s, 1 9, 9 10s, with 3 of those being hard way and 3 of them being both on axis. We had 2 yos and 1 12. So not a good performance really, because if you look at this, just saying on or off axis, whoops. We had 18 with one die on and one die off. 15 with both die on, so that's actually not bad. I mean, it's getting close to 50%. And we had 3 with both die off. Okay? So hopefully, I shoot for anywhere from 40 to 50% both die on axis, but I don't use a hardway set very often anymore just because of the reason we just showed. You open yourself up to more 7s on the come out. Now, if your strategy is to play the 7 on the come out, I would either hop the 7s for 5 each, or I would lay, on this roll, I would not lay the 10. We had more 10s than anything else. But I would lay either the 4 or the 10 to try to cover. Okay? Hopefully that helps everybody out. Be on the lookout for my November series with starting with our $600 bankroll. I've already started. I got episode 1 done. I'll do episode 2 later today and post it for November 2nd. But till next time, everybody, take care, stay safe, and God bless. I'll see you then.